California judge is basically saying, never mind, to a lawsuit against Nirvana. Guys, Nevermind is a line from a Nirvana song over their iconic album cover, also called Nevermind. Do you see what we did there? Here's the cover. You have to have seen this before, right? If you're like a cultural human being who lives on this planet, naked baby swimming to a dollar bill. Huge when this happened, when this came out. Sold more than 30 million copies worldwide since it was released in 1991. Made the group legit rock stars. And this was like an iconic image in pop culture. Both Rolling Stone and Billboard have called it one of the top 10 best album covers of all time. But here's the thing. That baby on the cover was 4 months old at the time. He's now 30. His name is Spencer Eldon. And his lawsuit against the band alleged sexual exploitation. Claims the image has caused him, quote, extreme and permanent emotional distress. Because the cover photo constitutes child pornography that the band profited off of at, quote, his expense. That's what he says. Nirvana filed to dismiss the suit last month, saying that Eldon didn't have any merit in these arguments. His lawyers had until the end of last month to respond to the motion to dismiss, so they missed the deadline, right? That was their issue, so the judge tossed the case. Gotti Schwartz is reporting on this for us. And Gotti, this is super interesting, right? Because this is a technicality that this case disappeared on. Listen, maybe not call it a technicality. They didn't hit the deadline. Like, that's what happened here, so the judge dismissed it. He could still refile a new complaint, right? Like, could this still pick up steam?
Yeah, at this point, this is a technicality. And even though the case has been dismissed, the judge gave Spencer Eldon's lawyers until the end of next Thursday to file a motion to try to keep the case alive. And Eldon's lawyers say that's exactly what they're planning on doing. They released a statement to us just a little bit ago saying, in accordance with the court order, we will be filing a second amended complaint. Okay. Now, if that second amended complaint part sounds a little lawyerish, that's because right now, like you said, this whole thing is really boiling down to Eldon's attorneys not responding to a paperwork deadline, not the facts of the case. But the original motion that they were supposed to respond to came from Nirvana's lawyers, who said that this case should be tossed out because it wasn't brought up years ago and the 10-year statute of limitations had already passed. Now, if this case does go forward, then we'd get to the heart of that issue. The Spencer claimed that being on the cover naked as a 4-month-old baby caused him emotional, permanent damage, and that picture was basically child pornography. Hallie? He didn't.
There were moments in his life when Eldon actually recreated the album cover pose several times as a teen and then into his adult years, right? Do you have any sense of the timing, right, of this lawsuit now? Why bring it so many years later, especially as we talk about, as you mentioned, you know, that statute of limitations questions that the band's lawyers bring up?
Yeah, Hallie, he's recreated this album cover at least 4 different times at a pool, wearing clothing, sometimes in the pool, for the 10th, the 17th, the 20th, and the 25th anniversary of the album. And at least one of them, he appears underwater with a tattoo across his chest with the words Nevermind, which again is the name of the album. And he's been interviewed many times before about what it was like to be on the cover over the years. Back in 2016, he told the New York Post, "It's cool, but weird to be part of something so important that I don't even remember." But in more recent interviews, he started expressing how uncomfortable he is with the idea that so many people across the world have seen him naked when he had no say in what was published. His parents were paid $200 for that picture, which was chosen over several other options for the album cover way back when it was shot. And that album, like you said, ended up becoming one of the best-selling records of all time. I know, $200, and the next thing you know, it's selling 30 million copies.
We have like 30 seconds left in show. I have to tell you, core childhood memory, right, is of walking through the mall when they used to have music stores with the CD, like when that came out. I mean, I was a kid, right, but like that was everywhere. It was such a cultural phenomenon when it came out back in '91.
It absolutely was. And one of the things that that the attorneys for Nirvana said was that basically if this was child porn, or if it was found to be child porn, then that would make its presence in the homes of millions of Americans felony possession of child porn, which they said was ridiculous. And that's basically their argument before the judge.
Do you have that album, Gotti, like on your Spotify?
I did.
Are you a Nirvana fan?
I did. And now yeah, well, I had the actual original copy. It was that, and you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and all those old school ones from the '90s. I don't know where they are now.
Send me your playlist, Gotti. We're gonna do it. We're gonna jam. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that. Good reporting from out there in LA. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.